Hello and welcome to another edition of Franklin County Sheriff Office Connecting with the Community. My name is Napoleon Bell and I'll be your host, and we are in the home of the Sheriff Dallas Baldwin along with his wife Barb. Stay tuned.
When I got out of the military, I sought that brotherhood again, that pride. In the sheriff's office, there's no greater uniform out there.
It's a great honor to put this uniform on every day. I wear it with pride.
You won't find a career that's more challenging, that's more rewarding.
Well, Sheriff and Barb, thank you so much for allowing us into your home. This is an opportunity that we get to allow the viewing audience to learn more about not only, the work, but now behind the scenes. And we can get that information, I know, from Miss Barb here, the First Lady, right?
You probably can.
Yeah.
So, that's why we're here. But first of all, let me start off, though. I know, Sheriff, you've been on the show and have talked about the work that you're doing with the Sheriff's Office and some of the changes that you've made. But also, you've been in the business over 30 years. And looking at that span of time, let's step back before you became a police officer doing law enforcement. Did you ever think that, that was going to be your profession?
No, not really. And it's almost been 40 years. I hate to date myself.
Oh, my goodness.
But no, as a kid, of course, I loved playing cops and robbers and army and the typical. Loved police shows and all that. But as I got through school and actually went to Ohio State for a while, no, I really didn't, but I was always attracted to police work, and it was always kind of just thrilling to me. And early in our marriage, I got to know a lot of the cops around Columbus, and that didn't help.
Okay.
That really spurred my interest, and I think that's what led me into it.
Okay. Well, let me turn to Barb then, because a lot of ladies, or spouses, before they become the spouse. He says, I don't want to marry a police officer. Or, what was your thought, when you met Dallas? Was I don't know if he was already a police officer at that time. So when you met him, and then he started thinking, okay, I'm going to be a police officer. What was going through your head?
Well, first of all, he never talked about ever wanting to be a cop, and it was never ever mentioned he was going to be one. He came home and told me he took the test. And I was like, the test for what? And he said, for the police department. And then that's when I started realizing that I knew nobody that was a police officer. We were young and, we all had ideas, but his ideas, he never portrayed to me that he was actually going to be one. And so after he went and took the test, we started talking, and I was thinking, we never had guns in our house. We never had anybody like that. And he's talking about bringing a gun in the house and doing a job with a gun. And I think in the beginning, you don't have any idea when you're young what it really entails. Right. And so I really wasn't upset or shocked. I was just like, okay, well, good. If that's what you want to do, I'm all behind you.
Right. Well, did it make you nervous, though, thinking that, hey, my husband is going out there into the
I didn't think that way. I just didn't think that way. I didn't really understand what the job really was. And then when he joined the academy, then I started realizing what it was all about.
Mm-hmm. So when you started to realize what all it was about, I think that you then got into kind of the mix with law enforcement. What did you do?
Well, after he became a police officer and he was in his coaching period, he came home one day and he said, Barb, they're hiring dispatchers and they're going to hire civilians. And I think you'd really like to do it. And I started thinking about it because I worked at Ohio State and I had a very good job. And I knew I didn't want to be a police officer. But I just thought, we'd get the same shift, the same days off, and I'd know more what he's doing, and he'd know, I'd get along a lot better. So 6 months in, I joined as a dispatcher on Columbus.
Oh, wow. So was there ever a point where you're dispatching to your husband?
There's a funny story about that, because I was dispatching, and I usually did dispatch his channel. And I sent him and his partner on a run, and of course they asked for a backup, and I'm like freaking. I'm like, get a car in there, get a car in there, and everybody's calm down, it's okay.
I bet, because so many things must have been going through your head at that time. You know, it says, listen, this is my new husband. Don't hurt him.
Well, it wasn't so
you
new.
never want to go to work after a fight. You make up before you go because she's your backup.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Exactly.
But it all worked out really well. We, we really enjoyed working together, and we understood each other more. And I think that's why you see a lot of police families.
Mm-hmm. I understand. Yes. So, well, speaking of family, I want to back up a little bit because, you've been married, what, 45? How long?
45 years.
45 years.
45 good years.
45 good years.
Great years.
Great years.
I'm corrected.
45 great years. And so with those 45 great years, that I'm gonna ask both of you this question. What was the attraction? How did it all start? And so I don't know who I should ask first on this. I think I'll go with the lady.
Dallas was working the summer at the church, and my brother was working at the church. And what they were doing is they were employed by the church, the kids, to paint the church. And my brother came home and said he got me a blind date. Well, I kind of knew Dallas from the church, but I hung mostly with the girls, and I told my brother, I don't need you to get my dates. But my brother had to have a double date to get to date his girlfriend. So we showed up, and we all went skating, and my parents met in a skating rink. So my brother and I are really good skaters. Unfortunately, he is not a great skater.
Oh, okay.
That's right.
But that night, we hit it off really well, and we were very young, and he went on to college, and then when first year he came home, and we eloped and got married.
Oh my goodness. Well, very good. Very good. So you eloped and got married. Now, I heard there was a little story, though, that you actually had won an opportunity.
Yes, I worked for an attorney downtown Dayton, and us girls, we listened to the radio mostly, and they always had contests, and I won the Valentine's contest. And they wanted us to get married on the air, and it got all wild and crazy. But coming from, we just didn't really want the limelight like that, and I'm not much into, formal things. So, and we'd already planned to get married in Kentucky because we got married where my mom and dad got married when they eloped by the same justice of the peace.
Oh, wow.
So it was kind of fun.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Sheriff, what she said was accurate, yes?
Yes, it was.
Okay.
No, it was very, very accurate. We were in high school, actually younger when we first met, and in the same church. And the dating, when her brother fixed us up, I'm like, hey, Dave, can you hook us up? And that was our first date. So it worked out well.
So you're high school sweethearts?
Yes, we are.
Wow, very good. Well, what's the secret to that? I mean, so often, we hear, especially in law enforcement, it's challenging to for couples to stay together. What's the secret to that?
We didn't go to the same high school.
That might be a clue, but I have mutual respect, communication, and not trying to be in control of the other one. I think she's always respected me, and I respected her, and it's worked out very well.
And have fun. We always have
A lot of fun.
We have a lot of fun. He's the funniest guy ever. Nobody sees it, but they're starting to see it more now. But he is really a lot of fun. And we have a lot of the same interest, and we come from the same backgrounds.
Okay.
I think that makes a difference.
Right. So, and you talk about being together and having fun. During when Dallas ran for office, you're always out there, and even now. You're always together, and that's an incredible thing that you're always together doing all of these, whether it be events or going out or just going out. I hear that you stop at Manelli's and have pizza, so it's good stuff.
Well, we did get married young, and the thing is, when we came to Columbus, it was just me and him, and all of a sudden, he's talking about guys from college, and I said, not anymore. It's me and you. It's not going out with the guys and being with them. It's you and I together, building our life together.
Right. So setting out those parameters right away. Says, listen, it's me and you first.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And
always has been.
You find out hanging out with your wife is more fun than the guys.
Yeah.
So it's always been like that.
Great. That is great to hear. So, spending all this time together, I know that both of you must have some, hobbies. You're in a beautiful home. I see so many things that are going on around here, and some work that's being done.
Always.
So I heard, Barb, though, that you have an affinity for cats and bells.
Well, the cat thing, I had a cat for like 17 years. I really wasn't a cat freak, but then when I got my cat, I treated him more like a dog. But he lived 17 years, and I just adored this cat. And in that time, people started buying me cats. And then one year I got
You're talking the little porcelain.
figurines,
Okay.
yeah, and everything. So, you saw my dining room, it's just full of cats. Toy cats or little cats.
Yeah.
But then the bell thing, I don't know. My nephew, he was over in the Navy, and he brought me home a bell. And after that, it seemed like every Christmas, holiday, birthday, I got bells. So I had a bell collection all of a sudden.
Oh my goodness. So did you ever decide to count how many you had, or and then so if the bell I see the cats, but so where's the bell collection is in hibernation or black stuff away?
Well, they just didn't make the cut in this house.
Oh, okay.
Only
are
one
some.
collection. Only one collection at a time.
Okay.
We have some. She kept her favorites.
Okay. Well, very good. Well, now, Sheriff, I just saw something on the wall that I didn't know about, and I'm not sure if others know about. But you play guitar or banjo or?
I play around with them. I'm not that good, but a couple of guitars I've had as a kid, and fascinated by the banjo. And I got my first banjo, back right in college, and traded up to a better one, and just play around with it, just have fun with it. Every now and then I get it off the wall and play, and then I'll put it up for a month or two, and then get it back down.
We had one son, and he became a guitar player. When he was little, we sent him off to guitar lessons. And in fact, when he graduated Ohio State, we bought him a really nice guitar. So
And he's good.
And he's good.
Really good.
So have you ever thought about playing anymore? I mean, because we might have to get you, have you on the program or at one of the events.
I need a little time to practice.
So just a little
Future episode.
They've been
maybe.
on the wall a while.
Right. Well, but that's something that I think takes my son was playing guitar, and I've always wanted. I play piano, but I've always wanted to be able to. I just couldn't seem to. I don't know how you do it with all those different chords.
Sometimes you wonder.
All right. Well, we've got the cats and we've got the bells and we have the guitars, but also I understand that Miss Barb, that you are the big poet.
Oh yeah, I write poetry. You're right.
You love poetry.
I do. I write. Well, I started writing, as everyone knows, I've been sick, and I decided I wanted to write poems about Dallas and I, just for him to have. Mm-hmm. And so I started writing a poem about when we eloped and about when we met and things we'd done over the years and vacations, and comical things, that he knows that it's a secret that only he would understand. Mm-hmm. And it kind of blossomed, and now I have a big collection of them, and every day he'll come home and say, "Did you write me a poem today?"
Oh, how beautiful. Wow. Can I ask, would you know one of those poems by heart, or would you want to?
No, they're pretty lengthy. I'm pretty talkative. I write well, and then I talk long.
Right.
They're very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, they're just about me and Dallas and different things. Like, I'll give you one example. Dallas's uncle, he lived in Tennessee, him and his wife, and just for exercise, they decided to start walking the country roads. And he got into picking up the cans, and because to make it eco-friendly, and also because it was exercise, and then he'd cash them in and donate the money. So I wrote a poem about that because it inspired me, because I was thinking, it's not always about the walk is the name of the poem, because the underlying reason is to, like I say, pick up the cans and help people. So that was one of my poems, and he understands that because we loved this uncle. He's not with us anymore. But when I wrote it, Dallas said, "Boy, that's just priceless, to remember that."
Well, have you ever thought about, I would say, publishing, some of the poems, or
No,
or getting it out there? But it's just
he can do it when I'm not
I
around.
ask the same thing.
He's wanted me to. I have gone into some contest with him, and done pretty good. So,
yeah. Well, it sounds beautiful. It'd be great to see some of those. Or well, let me ask you, if since you're into poems, is there a particular poem that you've read that somebody else has read? Is it something that really touches your heart
Well, I read a lot. In fact, especially when I enter contests and stuff, I always look at the poems that people write because their poetry is not like mine. Mine's more like prose, I think, than just poetry. It's more of a story, short story, but in poem form. And it's just to me a hobby, and I'm here a lot, with Dallas working now, so I have plenty of time to do that. When I'm not in the office giving them all kinds of fun.
Right, or out with all the events and all that. And meetings and things.
Right, that keeps us busy. We're very busy right now.
Yeah, I see that. So you're not laying back here. You're doing a lot of work, and you know a lot of people don't know that just from me being here is that you guys are savvy with doing construction work.
Oh no.
Savvy, I'm not sure about the word, but we play with it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So that's something else that you guys do together.
Yes.
So it's literally is everything that you guys.
Well, one project we did is when we lived prior to here, we lived in a condominium, and we took it upon ourselves. Dallas was president, and we took it upon ourselves to remodel their party house. So we got all the people together, and I had a fund, and I took up a collection, and everybody chipped in for the paint, and a lot of people came over and helped, and we redid their whole party house, and it was just kind of fun to do, and they all really appreciated it.
Wow, that is amazing because it takes, first of all, a skill set to be able to do it, but now you're bringing together people and making that happen. So
well, if it's over our skill, we give it out to somebody else to do.
Well,
but we're pretty
I do need
good,
some help with my house.
No.
Okay. Well, I thought I'd put it out there. So you've got a beautiful home and you've got all these great pictures and things around and I know over the 45 years and then you've developed a large family. And so tell us a little bit about your family and grandchildren or what have you. Barb,
Well, Dallas can tell you we have one son, and he's a police officer, and he's married and has 2 little girls. And then my sister had a son when she was young, and we raised him in our family for some time when I was growing up. And we used to take him on dates with me and Dallas. He was like a little boy.
And actually, our nephew, you were in the academy with him.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, Steve. Steve was, and so Steve always looks upon us as his family, close family.
Yeah.
And he's married, and he has a little boy and a little girl. And they're not so little now. They're up there.
Getting bigger.
They're getting bigger.
Right.
One's into soccer, and the other one is a runner. So they keep busy.
Oh, wow. Okay. So every once in a while you might have some little ones running around.
Yeah.
Okay. Very good. Well, let me ask you, where do you go from here? It's you guys have apparently moved a couple times and now Dallas is big time sheriff and you're the big time first lady and what do you see yourself doing the next so many years or
we get up every morning just thinking we're blessed with this job because our idea wasn't about the paycheck. We were we already have that and we have everything we need. It's more or less the people. We like to make a difference in people. And I think Dallas has really done that. I think people are seeing what a nice guy he is and how he really cares and he has a vision. And it's for not just the employees, but for the county.
I think this is like the ultimate. I'm at the top of my game. And at this point, I think we just want to continue to do all we can to improve the sheriff's office. And it's great, and it has been. And just to do the best job we can while we're there. And when we're finished, I think we're retired.
Right. Twice.
Yes.
Oh. Well, we have a couple minutes left, and I just want to give the viewing audience an opportunity to hear directly from both of you. So in answering the question, who is Barb Baldwin? Who is Dallas Baldwin? So, Miss Barb, who is Barb Baldwin?
Well, I'm probably your best friend if you know me. I will help anybody do anything, and I like to have a lot of fun. I show up every so often in the office and lighten up their day, and I hope I do anyway. They're always asking when I'm going to be there because I always ask them if I can help them or anything they need or, want to talk about. Because a lot of the people have had, some challenging past, and it's hard to get over that. We've all been there and done it. We didn't come from the most Leave It to Beaver family ourselves, and I listen to them, and a lot of them call me mom because a lot of them didn't have quite a mom, and the neighbors here will tell you that they tell everybody that I'm their grandparents to their kids, and they draw pictures for Dallas's office. So I'm just kind of me right now, and I love being retired, and I'm being by myself to where I can, like you say, write my poetry and have my own me time too.
All right. Mom. That's Miss Dallas Baldwin. Mom.
Thank you.
And Sheriff?
Me, just a kid from Dayton. I grew up in a good home, good family, and I'm not very outlandish. I don't do anything real flashy, and I like helping others. That's what attracted me into police work. I really like helping people that just need something, and that's continued my entire life. Doesn't take a whole lot to satisfy me, although she may not agree sometimes. But no, I mean just very low key and plain. And that's just me. Enjoy stability, and I think that's why we've been married so long. And just enjoy that.
Very good, very good. Well, it's very apparent that you're meant for each other, and that you work well together. And so many happy years to come.
Thank you.
So I've got two kind of crazy questions coming up. The first one, maybe some of this time that you're spending at home, you might be watching TV. Reality shows are big now. Do you have a favorite reality show? How about you?
Oh, yes.
You tell the story.
No, not me.
He used to go to work and tell him that he got to watch The Bachelor last night.
Oh, my goodness.
So
okay.
I like The Bachelor and those. I just like reality because it's kind of funny, and I don't, believe it all, but it's just a time to just have a little fun and not have to worry about what's going to happen the next weekend. And when I'm home and I'll watch a cop show or a shoot 'em up show, I get kind of nervous, and I'm kind of like, I don't want to see that.
Right.
It's not entertaining.
Right. Yeah, I totally get it. How about you?
I like nature shows, travel shows, HGTV.
Home and Garden? Okay.
Shows like that. We're really not much into watching the thrill movies and things like that, or series on TV. It's more reality type shows, and she likes all the dating shows and like she said, The Bachelor and all that.
Okay.
But just like I said, nature and the sporting, things like that.
Okay.
We won't have a great deal of time to watch TV, but those are more entertaining.
Right. Well, very good. Well, you've got all these projects that you're doing. If you're not doing projects, you're at events.
True.
So staying busy, but that is a favorite pastime at sometimes to sit there and watch reality shows, or definitely with the Home and Garden because of the projects that you're doing there. So, but with all that going on now, I understand there's going to be a little addition to the family coming up.
Yes, he's on the way. We get him next month, and actually in October. He's a little Chihuahua. Our Chihuahua died. He was almost 16 years old, and I always said no more dogs or husbands, but I've got one coming, and I've named him Bubbles.
Bubbles.
It's very good for Dallas to have to tell everybody he's got a dog named Bubbles.
Oh my goodness. So Dallas the Sheriff and Bubbles.
Right.
Coming in October.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. So have you got to see a picture of
Yes, we have pictures of him, and the breeder he calls him Deputy Bubbles.
Oh, okay.
So he sends me a picture about every other day of him, and he's getting big. He's 6 weeks old right now.
Excellent. Well, I think we'll end with that. I appreciate the time in your home.
Thank you.
Allowing us in here and allowing the viewing audience into the home of the Sheriff and First Lady, and learn a little more about yourselves, and wish you all the best. And we look forward, there is the Mattis the Canine, but I think Bubbles is going to outshine Mattis the
A
Canine.
lot of competition there.
A lot of competition.
Mattis is able to said he would take and be his brother, so
Okay.
they're going to see each other a lot.
Excellent. Well, again, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
Every month, Sheriff Dallas Baldwin recognizes an ordinary person doing extraordinary things in their community. This month's Sheriff's Community Star goes to Juanita Kaufman in Franklin Township. At 95 years young, her dedication for over 20 years coordinating the National Night Out celebration, and is the founder of the Westfield Neighborhood Block Watch. Juanita stays engaged to make sure her voice is heard, never missing a township meeting. Her tenacity and positive outlook is infectious to everyone she meets. Thank you for your lifelong service. Juanita Kaufman is our community star. We would like to thank you, the public, for tips leading to the arrest of Anthony Ray Jenkins II as the individual responsible for robbing the Turkey Hill gas station located at 3000 Centerpoint Drive in Urban Crest on August 20th and on August 21st. Jenkins was arrested by Sheriff's Office deputies on August 23rd. Detectives have charged Jenkins with robbery, and he is currently being held in the Franklin County Jail. So we would like to thank you for watching and being engaged in your community. And if you have tips for us, please be sure to go online at sheriff.franklincountyohio.gov. And if you have a show idea or a topic you'd like to see, please let me know and send an email directly to me at nabell@franklincountyohio.gov. I'm Napoleon Bell, and have a great week. Take care.